Onoka Yamato walked into Hanami Spa after a 90-hour week. Her shoulders ached beneath a plain cream sweater.
I have a booking. Yamato.
The concierge's gaze swept over her clothes, measuring every thread as if it were a personal insult.
I'm afraid we're fully booked today. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at a budget chain.
Behind her, the reservation screen glowed bright green. A grid of open slots stretched into the evening.
She isn't even trying to hide it.
Onoka's hand closed around a sample bottle from the lobby display. She lifted it, flipped it over, and read the fine print. Manufactured by Yamato Botanicals. Every cream, every oil, every serum in this spa, her company supplied it all.
Will there be anything else, ma'am? You just slammed the door on the one person who holds your entire brand in her hands, and you have no idea.
Honoka turned away from the desk without another word. She walked to a marble pillar, pulling out her phone with a shaking hand. She typed a short message to Kazuya. I'm at Hanami Spa. They refused me service. Kazuya, in his modest office, stared at the screen, his face drained of color. A memory surfaced, Onoka's mother years ago, smiling in her lab coat. She believed beauty was not a privilege but a birthright.
Her mother's voice echoed, "Beauty should be for everyone, Honoka. Never forget that."
This is a disaster. I have to call Takeda now. Takeda-san, it's Kazuya. There's been an incident at Hanami Spa. The supplier, Yamato Botanicals, was just turned away by your front desk.
What? You're joking! That woman is the owner? I'll be there in 10 minutes. Stall her. Do whatever it takes.
Honoka stood in the lobby, still gripping the sample bottle. The orchid petals swayed in the air conditioning, silent witnesses to the brewing storm. Outside, a black sedan screeched into the parking lot. Takeda burst through the glass doors, his tie askew, scanning the lobby with wild eyes. Takeda's entrance froze the front desk mid-snicker. Mayu and a younger attendant had been whispering about Honoka's clothes. She caught every word.
So this is what they really think. Honestly, what did she expect, walking in looking like that?
The doors swung open again. Kazuya rushed in, his gray suit rumpled and dropped into a bow so low his forehead almost touched his knees. His voice trembled.
Yamato-san, I'm so sorry. I should have prevented this.
Honoka did not answer. The silence stretched, heavy and deliberate, cutting sharper than any words could.
Please, come to my office. There's been a grave error. Let me explain.
Takeda gestured toward the corridor. Onoka walked past him without a glance, Kazuya following close behind.
The COO bowed to her? Who is that woman?
The office door clicked shut. In the lobby, Mayu stared at the closed door, her painted smile finally cracking. Inside the COO's office, Takeda sank into a bow so low his forehead nearly touched the desk. His voice came out in a frantic rush.
Yamato-san, this is a humanitarian error. I'll give you a lifetime membership, VIP forever.
A lifetime membership? You think that makes up for being told I don't belong here?
She set the sample bottle on his desk, the label facing up. Manufactured by Yamato Botanicals. The gesture was a statement.
I came here planning to renegotiate our rates. That's no longer possible. Effective end of month, our supply contract is canceled.
Takeda's face went white. Then, strangely, it settled into something colder.
That would be a problem for you, Yamato-san. We already have a cheaper supplier, Lux Pure.
Lux Pure? They weren't on my radar. This isn't just about a snub. It's a whole other play.
She rose without another word. As she walked out, her hands were shaking, but not from fear. Honoka strode through the lobby, her heels sharp against marble. Kazuya hurried after her, his voice tight with worry.
You knew, didn't you? There's something you're not telling me.
I heard rumors. A cheaper supplier. I didn't want to worry you without proof.
Even him. He knew and said nothing. I've been fighting blind.
Outside, the cool evening air hit her. She pulled out her phone and dialed her R&D team.
Drop everything. I need everything you can find on a company called Lux Pure. Ingredients, funding, safety records.
Back in the office, Takeda slammed his phone down and glared at Mayu.
Do you have any idea what you've done? That woman was the owner. You've put the entire contract at risk.
I was just following standard policy. We screen for clientele fit. How was I supposed to know?
Keep your mouth shut. If this gets out further, you'll be scrubbing floors, not greeting guests.
The next morning, Honoka sat in her cluttered office. The R&D report had arrived, and its contents froze her mid-sip of cold tea. The document header read, "Looks pure. CEO Kanei Mizuno. Previous hostile takeover bid for Yamato Botanicals, 2015. Refused by founder."
Kanei. Mother turned her down flat. This isn't business. It's personal.
Kanei Mizuno, the woman who had once stood in this very building and demanded everything. Now she was circling back through the spa.
Yamato-san, their ingredient list is alarming. 3 chemicals are banned in the EU. They're risking skin reactions for profit. That explains the cheaper price. They're not undercutting us. They're skirting safety.
The door creaked. Kazuya stepped in, 2 coffee cups trembling slightly in his hands. His face was a mask of regret.
I want to help. I have contacts in distribution. They can trace where Lux Pure's supply chain really goes.
You're still here, after lying by omission. Why should I trust you now?
Because I made a mistake. Because you shouldn't fight this alone, not when it's your mother's legacy.
That evening, in a quiet corner of a cafe, journalist Suzuki leaned forward, his pen hovering over a notepad.
You have documents linking Lux Pure to Hanami Spa? This is explosive, but I need to see everything.
Honoka slid a USB drive across the table. The research spread out like a silent accusation.
If I run this, they'll trace the source. You could be burned. Are you prepared for that?
I'm not hiding anymore. Publish the full story, Suzuki-san. Let them see.
Meanwhile, at Hanami Spa, a guest stormed to the front desk, her neck flushed with an angry rash.
I used your new sample and my skin is on fire. What's in this?
Mayu's practiced smile vanished as the guest shoved the Lux Pure bottle onto the counter.
I'll get the manager. Please wait a moment.
Panic flickered in Mayu's eyes. The cracks were spreading, and she was standing on thin ice. By sunrise, Suzuki's article had spread like wildfire. The headline blazed across every major news outlet in Japan. Social media erupted. The hashtag Hanami scandal trended within hours, thousands demanding a boycott.
Shut down the comments. Call legal. This is a direct attack on our establishment.
The front desk phone rang endlessly. Every call was a cancellation or a furious complaint.
I understand your concern, ma'am. But no, I can't issue a refund. Please. Hello? This is a nightmare. And I put myself right in the middle of it.
In the break room, staff huddled together, whispers turning into open revolt. A young attendant quit on the spot. In her office, Honoka scrolled through the chaos on her phone. A cold satisfaction settled in her chest.
This is justice. They built their house on a lie, and I just let the wind blow.
But the spa still stood, and Takeda was not yet on his knees. The real war had only just begun. Takeda summoned Mayu to his office. The door closed with a finality she had never heard before.
You're fired, Mayu. Effective immediately. The public needs a sacrifice.
Fired? But I was just following policy. This isn't fair.
Fair? You put this spa in a scandal. Take your things and get out.
Hours later, Mayu sat alone on a marble bench outside the spa. Her uniform was gone. Tears carved tracks through her ruined makeup. Her phone trembled in her hand. After a long pause, she dialed a number she never thought she would call.
Yamato-san, it's Mayu. Please, I know I was cruel, but I'm begging you, help me. This spa, the way we judged people, it was rotten. I was rotten. I have nothing left.
In her office, Honoka held the phone to her ear. She listened without a word, her expression utterly unreadable. Then she hung up.
Mother, what would you do? Revenge tastes like ash, but mercy feels like surrender.
Honoka stood before her R&D team, marker in hand. The whiteboard behind her bore only 4 words: Yamato Wellness, Beauty for All.
A wellness spa? But Hanami is in crisis. You want to buy it?
I want to turn it into the place my mother dreamed of. Accessible, transparent, ethical.
Kazuya nodded silently, then turned to his laptop. He could start reaching out to the board members who had once trusted Yamato-san's mother. Later, in a quiet tatami room, Honoka sat across from Tanaka, the eldest board member. The scent of green tea hung in the air.
Your mother saved this spa when it nearly closed years ago. We never forgot. The board is fragmented, desperate. A buyout might be welcome.
I'll need a majority vote. Can you gather them?
I will try, but Takeda is still COO, and he fights like a cornered bear.
The first step had been taken. Honoka's revenge had transformed into a mission.
This isn't a takeover, it's a resurrection.
The full board of Hanami Spa gathered in a solemn tatami room. Takeda sat at the far end, his face a mask of barely contained fury.
You leaked confidential information to the press. This is corporate sabotage.
I exposed a safety risk that your spa was hiding. The leak wasn't sabotage, it was a public service.
Tanaka raised a hand, silencing the murmurs. His voice, though aged, carried weight.
We all know the Lux Pure deal was a mistake. Yamato-san offers a path forward with integrity and her mother's legacy.
I propose a full acquisition. Yamato Wellness will rebuild this spa on transparency and accessibility for all.
A tense vote was cast. One by one, the board members nodded. The acceptance was conditional.
This is madness. You're handing over our spa to the enemy.
The motion carries, Takeda. We will negotiate the terms. You are to cooperate fully.
They agreed. But now I have to decide. Let Mayu rot, or give her a second chance?
Honoka found Mayu's apartment in a cramped neighborhood. She knocked on the flimsy door, and when Mayu opened it, her eyes went wide.
Yamato-san, why are you here? I'm offering you a job, not as concierge. Entry-level work, cleaning, assisting, with mandatory sensitivity training. You're willing to take me back? After everything I did? One condition only, genuine humility. You start from the bottom and you commit to unlearning that prejudice.
Mayu's legs gave way. She sank into a bow so deep her forehead nearly touched the floor.
I'll do it. Anything. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Honoka knelt and placed a hand under Mayu's chin, lifting gently.
Don't make me regret this. The new spa opens soon. Be ready.
The light in the hallway flickered. For a brief moment, the old order was gone and something fragile had begun. In a penthouse office high above the city, Kane Mizuno swirled a glass of wine and clicked post. Her smile was venomous. Within hours, fabricated headlines flooded social media. The hashtag Honoka the Destroyer trended, painting her as a corporate raider. Honoka's phone buzzed relentlessly. A news alert displayed, "Scandal. New spa CEO accused of sabotaging legacy brand."
She's twisting everything. I never wanted a war, but she's forcing my hand.
Kazuya rushed in, his gray suit rumpled, a tablet clutched in his trembling hands.
The board is wavering. Some members are talking about pulling out of the deal entirely.
She's trying to drag me into the mud. If I retaliate with her own tactics, I become exactly what she says I am.
A direct message from Kane appeared on her screen. "Transparency won't save you. I'll bury you under your own legacy."
Then I'll give them the truth. All of it. My mother's legacy doesn't crumble from lies.
But the damage was already spreading. The board's nervous calls grew louder, and the takeover hung by a thread. Honoka walked onto the press conference stage, 100 cameras tracking her every move. The air was thick with judgment.
I know what's been said about me. I'm here to give you the truth, not a defense. A few weeks ago, I walked into Hanami Spa. I was exhausted, wearing a plain sweater.
The concierge told me I didn't belong there.
Mother, if you can hear me, I'm doing this because you taught me the truth never breaks. I picked up a product from their lobby. On the back it said Yamato Botanicals, my company. I was the supplier they refused.
The audience gasped. Murmurs rippled through the room. The narrative was cracking wide open.
But I didn't destroy that spa. I'm rebuilding it. Yamato Wellness will open its doors to everyone, no matter who you are.
In the front row, Kazuya clapped first. His eyes glistened, and soon the whole room followed. Social media erupted again, but this time with support. Yamato Wellness began to trend.
They're listening, but Kane won't accept this quietly. The real test is still coming.
Suzuki slid into the booth, clutching a manila envelope thick with papers. His eyes were wild.
Yamato-san, I've got it. Internal formulation sheets, illegal chemicals, unapproved testing. This leads straight to Kane.
He spread the documents across the table. Invoices, lab reports, Kane's own signature on a cover letter.
If we run this, the scandal will bury her, but you'd be the obvious source. Are you ready for that?
Honoka stared at the papers, then shook her head.
Not to the press. I'm taking this to the authorities. I won't become her by fighting with her weapons.
At Yamato Wellness, Mayu wiped down a shelf with care. A guest approached, holding a small basket of products.
Excuse me, you recommended this cream. My skin has never been better. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad it helped.
That evening, Honoka handed the envelope to the police. The next morning, a headline declared, "Looks pure under investigation." 3 days later, investigators swarmed Kane's headquarters. Flashbulbs erupted as she was led out in handcuffs, her glare defiant.
You think this is the end? My legal team will shred these charges.
The board reconvened without Takeda. In a quiet vote, the final papers transferred Hanami's deed to Yamato Wellness. Takeda was summoned and handed termination papers. His office was cleared out by noon. No one watched him leave.
All my career, gone. Because of one woman in a sweater.
Honoka stood in the lobby of what was now Yamato Wellness. The new sign glowed outside in warm letters. The silence was absolute.
Mother, it's done. I built it for everyone.
The door opened softly. Kazuya stepped in, his gray suit rumpled, his eyes finding her immediately.
You really did it. I've wanted to say something for a long time.
But he stopped himself, swallowing the words. He gave a small bow instead, and Honoka understood the silence. The morning sun warmed the line of customers stretching around Yamato Wellness. Cameras clicked as Honoka cut the ribbon.
Welcome! Please, come inside. We have something for everyone.
Guests of all ages and backgrounds flowed through the doors. For the first time, the spa felt alive with true welcome.
This is what she meant. Beauty is not a privilege, it's a right.
That evening, the gala spilled onto the terrace. Kazuya caught Honoka's wrist and gently pulled her aside.
I've been a coward. I've loved you since the day I saw you at your mother's funeral.
Kazuya, you were always there. I didn't know how to see it.
I should have told you earlier. Will you? Let me stay by your side?
She didn't answer with words. She stepped forward, and their lips met under the spring stars.
Finally, home.
The next evening, they sat across from each other in a quiet restaurant. Candlelight softened the years of struggle.
I used to watch you work late at your office, Honoka. You never saw me, but I was there.
You were always there, even when I was too exhausted to notice.
Kazuya reached into his coat and slid a small yellowed envelope across the table.
Your mother gave me this. She said to give it to you when you found your happiness.
Honoka's hands trembled as she unfolded the letter. Her mother's handwriting so familiar, so alive. The letter read, "My darling Honoka, if you are reading this, you have found your way. Beauty is your gift, but kindness is your strength."
Mother, you were guiding me all along.
She was proud of you every single day. I promised her I'd make sure you knew.
Honoka reached across the table and took his hand. The restaurant faded, and there was only this moment. A breaking news alert flashed across the screen. Takeda was led out of his apartment in handcuffs, his head bowed. Anoka and Kazuya watched from her couch. The fire crackled, casting soft light on their faces.
It's over. He can't hurt anyone else now.
At Yamato Wellness, staff applauded as Mayu was handed a new name tag, Junior Supervisor. Her eyes brimmed.
Thank you for believing I could change.
The morning newspaper declared Yamato Wellness opens doors to all next to a photo of Kane's final court appearance. Kane's empire crumbled. Former partners came forward with their own stories of fraud. Honoka stood before the spa, now hers in name and in purpose. The sign glowed Yamato Wellness, beauty for all.
This is what justice looks like. Not revenge, renewal.
Kazuya joined her, slipping his hand into hers. They stood together, facing the quiet street. Months later, Honoka stood before a packed convention hall. The screen behind her blazed with the Yamato Botanicals logo.
Ethical beauty isn't a trend. It was my mother's life, and now it's my promise to every person who walks through any door.
The audience rose to their feet before she could finish. Applause thundered through the hall. In the front row, Kazuya clapped harder than anyone, his eyes glistening with pride. Backstage, away from the flashing cameras, Honoka slipped through a curtain. Kazuya was already waiting.
We did it.
No, you did it. I just drove the car.
She laughed, a real, full laugh that echoed off the concrete walls.
This is what victory feels like. Not standing alone, but with someone who waited in the shadows for years.
He took her hand again, and they walked out together toward the evening sun. Months later, cherry blossoms carpeted the path. Honoka and Kazuya arrived at the Yamato family grave.
We opened the spa, Mom. The walls are warm, the treatments are safe, and we serve everyone. No exceptions.
And I promised to stand by her, as you asked me to back then.
A gentle breeze lifted the petals, swirling them around the grave like a silent blessing.
Thank you for guiding me. I feel your love in every petal.
They bowed once more, then stood. Their hands found each other naturally. They walked past the old cherry trees to a small bench overlooking the sea.
So, what's the next dream, Honoka? Because I know you're just getting started.
Maybe a small cosmetic line for sensitive skin, or a community spa for underserved neighborhoods.
The horizon glowed, their future stretched wide and certain. Inside Yamato Wellness, a customer received a soothing facial. The therapist's hands moved with care, using Yamato Botanicals products.
Our mission is simple. Beauty for every person, regardless of who they are.
In a sunlit apartment kitchen, Honoka and Kazuya cooked together. Flour dusted their aprons as they laughed.
You're spilling flour again. Just like in the lab, you can't contain your genius.
Genius in a bowl, you mean? But you're the one who always cleans up my mess.
Outside the spa, the evening sun cast long shadows. The sign Yamato Wellness, beauty for all, glowed warmly. The city lights began to twinkle, and the night promised another bright tomorrow. Sometimes the deepest revenge is not destruction, but building something beautiful. And in each sunrise that followed, a new guest arrived, welcomed without judgment. The end.